Alright, this is pt02 and this is Theo's crotch. And Theo is just about too big to actually fit into the camera frame. Anyway, this is the second work in progress video for my master grade Theo. Basically, last night I finished scribing all the panel lines on the kit. And I'm just making this video to show off what I've done. So, let's see. Most of the stuff down here you've already seen in the first work in progress video. I ran out of primer, obviously, on this part, so I didn't bother buying another can of primer. Instead, I just went in with a Gundam panel line marker and filled in the panel lines that I scribed so that they'd be a little bit easier to see on camera. And yeah, I found that I ended up scribing a lot more detail on the lower half of the kit than I did on the upper half, and I think that's mainly because the lower half has so many more open featureless surfaces like the back skirt and these leg armors, whereas the upper half of the body has a lot more geometry on it, meaning all these like ridges and things like that, where panel lines aren't really necessary to give it more detail. Anyway, I actually had to fill in a panel line right here on the front skirt, and then had to scribe two panel lines on top of it. I was hoping that that wasn't going to cause any problems, and fortunately it didn't, because the putty is much weaker than the plastic, so I was afraid the putty might break up when I tried to scribe through it, but no such problem came up. And here on the back skirt you'll see he's got two big holes in there. That's because I got some of these little Kotobukiya modeling support good sets, and this is just a couple of minus molds that I'm going to be putting right there. But the only problem is that the back skirt is a curved surface, whereas the bottom of these are flat. And if I just tried to glue a flat, excuse me, a flat surface on top of a curved surface, it was gonna be like coming off the back skirt. So I decided to drill a hole, actually two holes, through the back skirt. Unfortunately, my drill wasn't as gentle as I would have liked it to have been. The drill bit was too big to use in my pin vise, so I had to use a power drill. But anyway, I fixed that with putty. It'll be fine. And what I'm going to be doing is taking one of these small squares of plastic, gluing it on the back side of this piece, right where that hole is, and then I'll just glue the minus mold on top of that little square, and it should fit in nicely and actually have a nice little recessed effect to it. So what else? I think that's about it as far as the panel line scribing goes. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. I didn't really go with any. Actually, at first I had the real grade with me while I was scribing the panel lines, and I was kind of copying the real grade's panel line scheme onto Theo, and eventually that just got kind of bothersome, and eventually it just got to where the geometry for Theo and the Gundam weren't even compatible, so I just said screw that, I'm just gonna make up my own panel line scheme. So yeah, pretty much the feet are the only part where Theo got the same panel lines as the real grade. Everything else is pretty much I had to make up on my own. So anyway, as far as painting goes, I am going to be using multiple shades of yellow, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using masking tape to mask along the panel lines. And while masking like that is tedious, I don't think it'll be nearly as tedious as actually scribing these panel lines on, so I think I'm over the hump as far as the labor-intensive work goes. But for example, I would be laying masking tape along these panel lines and then painting my multiple shades of yellow onto it to get kind of a real grade type effect. And I just really quickly mixed up maybe not the exact shades of yellow I'll be using, but I think these are pretty close to what I imagine I'll be using for the kit. As you can see right here, I've got pretty much pretty much the same color that the O is molded in. Maybe it's got a little bit more yellow to it. And then right here I've got a lighter yellow, which I'll use for some parts. And right here I've got a darker yellow, which I'll use for some parts. The majority of it will probably be this same color that the kit is molded in. And then I'll be using this lighter and darker yellows for just highlights and things like that. Probably about 50% of the kit will be this shade of yellow, and then 25% light yellow, 25% dark yellow. Of course, then again, I'm just saying that now. I may actually change that up a bit when I get around to actually painting it. So, I guess that about does it for this work in progress video. Let's see. Unfortunately, I won't be able to start painting this immediately because, one, my birthday is this week, and two, Thanksgiving is also this week. So that's going to eat up a lot of my Gunpla painting and building time. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to start building. Actually, I've already built it. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to start painting this kit until after Thanksgiving. I'm actually going out of town for Thanksgiving, so I'll probably start painting this guy when I get back on Saturday. So it may be a while before you guys get another work in progress video for this guy. So that's about everything I wanted to cover in this video, and with that I will see you guys next time.